What if I tell you there's a framework that combines the modularity and battery included of Django and the performance and speed of Fast API? Hello, my name is Daniel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this series, I'm going to be going over Esmerald. First of all, what is Esmerald? Esmerald is highly scalable, performant, easy to learn, easy to code, and every application. Esmerald is also built on top of Starlet. If you know Starlet, Starlet is also a Python framework, but it's more of a toolkit, right, than a framework, right? Is the same framework that Fast API is built upon. Esmerald brought the inspiration of API designing, which is I think is very interesting to me. I think that's one of the reasons why we love Fast API is because you can just roll up your API, you can do a lot of things quickly. But Fast API also has its own strength and weaknesses. Django is my first is the first framework that I learned in Python. It's very amazing, but as long as you get into things, you want things to be faster. Django is very fast, but it doesn't support natively async. I know now you can create an async sort of application, but it's not as they support it like natively, if you get what I'm saying. It draw the inspiration of permissions from Django. You might as well heard of Starlight before. Starlight is also a very cool Python framework. It also draws some inspiration from it, like the transformer for signatures and models. Deals with where you're sending response, where you're getting requests, how to automatically transform your input or output data, those things. Right. Last, it's simplicity. It draws the simplicity. I can tell you, it's very easy to learn, easy to code. It doesn't allow you to, it doesn't give you this chance of struggling with framework. You can just pick it up. I just start writing your application straight away, right? You also draw some inspiration from Nest.js, not Next, Nest.js. It draws the inspiration of controllers. And I think if you've worked with a Fast API before, you get to a point where you just want things to be kind of organized in a class model, we have in Django, there's cloud-based view. So it takes that inspiration from, Nest.js. The controllers, you can do your controllers and just mount it automatically and it just works, right? What are the features that Esmerald offer that make it different, right, from others framework? Asynchronous support and testing. You can test your API, your application, both async and sync way. REST API, you can write your RESTful API as easy as possible. ORM and ODM, and I think this is very, very interesting. Flask and Fast API sort of give you the bare minimum. Esmerald also give you the bare minimum depending on how you can just do it, but they also have this community where there are many tools that you can just use. They didn't give you that automatically. That is a force that you must, is a must that you must do it. You can just pick it up. Their ORM is divided into two. They have Sapphire and they have Edgy ORM. What is Sapphire? Sapphire is an ORM built atop SQL Alchemy directly, that you can just write your schema and just do things automatically. While the Edgy ORM is built with Pydantic and also SQL Alchemy, which means you can automatically just use your database model as your input parameter if you are writing something like a JSON REST API. The ODM, they also have an ODM for MongoDB. If you are working with MongoDB, it's very easy. You can just download the ODM and you just go straight. It's called MongoDB, right? Modular architecture, and I think this is one of the things that I struggle with when I started working with Fast APIs, because they just give you this choice of do whatever you like, right? And Esmerald supports two kind of ways scaffolding your application for you. You can do the standard way where they help you structure out. You can scaffold app, you can scaffold a lot of things, and they give you the simplest also way, create simple templates where you can just generate the bare minimum, not too crazy folder structure and everything like that. Just simple that you can just get started with. There's middleware support. They have amazing support for middleware. You can do a lot of things with the middleware, and they also have interceptor. Interceptor is what happened before your request. It doesn't go when you send a request, what happened before the request hits your handler. And I think that's very interesting. Support WebSockets, built-in security feature, which means JWT is handled by default. You can just do Esmerald with an option of JWT is built in. You don't have to worry about that. They also do that for you automatically, which I think for me is really, really cool. Template engine, you have the option to use Mako or Ginger. I personally use Ginger because I think I'm more familiar with it, and I've been working with it for a very quite while now. I think it's very cool. But you can try out Mako also. They both works, and they give you this flexibility of. I think one of the things I struggle with while working, I try to create a web application with fast API is the fact that I have to figure a lot of things out myself. For an example, how to pass context to the templating, how to do. So I have to, kind of write my own sort of rendering, a lot of functionality myself, which is, to me, I think this is amazing. OOP by default, this makes me happy because most of the, routes in fast API is functional. Kind of use a decorator on it and everything just goes. But this one, they allow you to kind of write your own thing in a controller where you can basically just write everything that pertains to a particular object and just pass the class, and Esmerald figure out the endpoint, matching it to the appropriate endpoint. And everything just works. You have CLI, like I said, you can generate, you can even write your own custom command and do a lot of things. The community is still growing. I urge you to check it out on Discord. The community is growing. If you post a question, they answer you almost immediately. If you raise an issue, they will almost immediately respond to you. And the project is still very growing, which means you can contribute as well. Go to their GitHub, contribute, fork it and see how things work. Pluggable, which means you can write your plugin. You can write a plugin and just plug it in. Everything just works, right? Which for me is very good. This one is what people have been asking me, especially in my working space, that, okay, I get it. Esmerald is good, but does it support like automatically Swagger API generation? I said, yes, they do. Natively, they support that. They also support Redoc, which means it's the reading version of the Swagger. Just that this will give you more information, like what are you sending, are they required or not required, what are the responses, what is the URL and everything. But additionally, they also give you the stoplight UI. What is stoplight? Stoplight kind of combine the information of Redoc and the testing of Swagger. They combine it together, which means you can be seeing your response from here, and as well just trying it out immediately, which to me I think is very cool. What are we going to be covering in this series? Routing, for sure. We're going to be covering the routing, interceptors, middleware, dependencies, database integration, management and directive, WebSockets. I should quickly talk about these. Fast API natively supports Pydantic, but I think I like the fact that Esmerald supports message spec by default, which to me I think is the fastest data serialization mode now in Python. It's quickly fast, and you can do encoding and decoding with it, which I think is very, very cool. And as well, they do the Esmerald supports Pydantic by default, which means everything that you are passing, they kind of validate it with Pydantic, but you can also use message spec. So to say this is what I want to use, and they just pick it out automatically. So we are going to be also taking a look at that. We also have template engine, like I mentioned earlier. You can write your templates. You are not restricted to only writing API. Things are more flexible because there's session automatically built in. Things like that. CLI, the CLI is also very cool. You can interact with things. You can create application. You can do a lot of things. If you remember Django create super admin or something like that. Those things you can do by just creating your own, kind of function. I just instruct Esmerald to just pick this up, and that will be run for you. And the last thing is the exception and exception handlers. I think this one is very cool because you can kind of go to Esmerald and just say, okay, when there's 500 error, just send this type of message. When there's 300 error, you can just customize things as you like, right? And that is it. That is me. Like I said, my name is Daniel. And you can as well just check out Esmerald website, their GitHub, and on Discord. If you have any other question, you can just ask there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye. See you in the next video.